All right, welcome back to LOP training, and now we're going to cover the PQ4 screen. So we just got done completing the PQ3 screen, and again, we're in the Fields tab. So I'm going to right-click, bring up this menu, and we're going to proceed to the PQ4 screen. Now the PQ4 screen, again, is an electronic notepad that lets you keep track of some of the different items, and it starts out with the real estate owned section. So from the PQ1 screen, when you ask some questions in regards to if they own a property and how much the payment is and things like that, it takes some of this data and puts it in some of the fields here for the PQ4 screen. So let's just say their address is 123 Smith Street. We've got some of this information, and I think we decided earlier that they were going to hold on to the property and rent it out. Well, if the payment, if we have to count the payment against, I'm going to go ahead and add that payment here, which is going to give me a negative $1,000 a month rental, okay? And then what I'm going to do is, in this case, with the property being like this, I'm going to go back to my PQ3 screen, and I'm going to take the negative 1,000 plus the 875, and it's going to be 1,875 now. All right. They don't really own any other properties, but what I've now done is I've got my monthly income from the PQ2 screen. I've got my monthly debt used, which now it does all of my ratios for income and front ratios, and also amount qualified for back ratios. So on this example, obviously they don't qualify because their monthly debt is more than 50% of their income, so there's not going to be much income to qualify in this scenario. But I don't have to keep on taking my calculator out to go through this. I've got all my notes here. It's all in the system, and it kind of gives me and answers my questions up front. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Let's say, for example, I'm going to go back into the PQ2 screen. And let's say we're just going to boost up the income to 6,500 for him and 1,500 for her. As we go back to the PQ3 screen, or PQ4 screen, I'm sorry, it kind of gives us a different scenario. It's added the income. We're looking at the bills. So in this case, a 45 back ratio or a 41 back ratio is going to put them somewhere around a $1,400 payment to a $1,700 payment is what they qualify for. So at the bottom of this screen, I've got my realtor information that pulled over from the contact screen as well as the PQ1 screen. And so at this point, I'm usually going to tell the client, hey, you qualify for X amount of dollars, you're good to go, and kind of get on down the road, contact the agent, and even send out some communication, which we're going to share in the next section. So the PQ4 screen really is a culmination of the first three screens where you're actually going through your ratio analysis, looking at any real estate owned, and kind of finish up the pre-qualification. So pretty simple and pretty easy. Any questions on this? Okay, let's go ahead and stop this then.